Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. Today we are gonna take Aemeath for a spin in Tower of Adversity on her strongest teams, so you know how to properly build and use her. Before going into the actual showcase, I want to give a big thank you to all of you. The support in the past few days was absolutely insane, and of course thank you to 𝗖cie𝗽𝘆𝗵𝗵 for his shoutout. Really appreciate it. Now let's just get straight into her build. For her weapon I am using the signature. It's absolutely insane. Just ignores defense, fusion resistance down, amazing. It's 25% better than her F2P option, which is gonna be Emerald of Genesis. You can also use Blazing Brilliance or Red String. They are about the same, just crit rate, crit damage weapons. And I'm expecting Emerald of Genesis to be at least one copy of it on the account of everyone, F2P is included, so yeah. For echo sets, I'm using Trailblazer Star. This is her best in slot. I mean, look at the icon. For the forecast, I'm using crit damage because I'm using a crit rate substat weapon. If you have a crit damage substat weapon, like changli's signature, then just use crit rate. Same applies for attack percent substat. I'm using fusion damage bonus and attack percent. Attack percent is gonna be better when you have her signature, because her signature increases fusion damage bonus. Besides this particular situation, you can just use whatever for the second 3-cost echo, attack percent or fusion damage. They are just gonna be pretty much equal. For the forte and the skills, I unfortunately do not have them maxed out because I can't. I don't have enough of those materials. Thank you, Kuro, again. So my Aemeath is not at 100% power. She's around at around 85%. She's somewhere in between Emerald of Genesis Aemeath and the signature Aemeath, which frankly I think makes for a better showcase. And I have no sequences. I'm gonna make another video just going and upgrading her up to sequence 2, because you can purchase 2 of her sequences from the shop, so look forward to that. With that being said, let's just go directly into the showcases. We are starting this off with what many say is gonna be her strongest team, Mornye, lynae and Aemeath. This team is all about that sweet toon break damage. Mornye makes toon break trigger more often. We are gonna be able to trigger toon break 1.5 times per rotation, 3 times every 2 rotations. Lynae upgrades, well, buffs the amount of toon break damage that you are dealing, and Aemeath buffs it even further beyond. Aemeath's rotation is going to be the intro into 2 basic attacks, then skill, ultimate in order to just trigger the mecha mode, then use empower skill right off the bat, and then just spam basic attacks until your empower skill is once again available. After that, use it, and then just use the charge attack in order to be able to use the final part of her liberation. It's a pretty easy rotation, all things considered. Even though her kit looks like it's an entire novel, you just pretty much spam basic attacks into skills, and that's about it. I mean, just look at that toon break damage. I'm deleting 1/10 of the boss HP with every single trigger. And of course there are some issues with this team. First of all, I don't know why, but Kuro decided that bosses must be immune to toon break build-up when they are switching phases, which sucks. It's pretty much downtime. They are not immune to anything else. They still take damage, they still take vibration damage, but for some reason they don't take build-up rate. Because of this issue, you are gonna see this team actually already has some competition. All things considered, this team is absolutely insane and is very easy to use because the boss can't move. Once you get your rotation going, the boss simply cannot do anything. Aemeath is just gonna freeze the guy. She has 4 cutscenes in her rotation, and then lynae and mornye are gonna trigger toon break also, just breaking the guy down and making him fall to the ground. It's just amazing. I expect this team to make defeating hologram bosses a breeze. But what happens if you don't have lynae? Because at the end of the day, you have lynae, mornye and Aemeath all back to back to back. It will take a miracle as an F2P to be able to get all 3 of them. Well, lynae is the one that is the most replaceable. You can use lupa instead for a mono fusion team. Lupa is actually insane, and it's obvious that they designed her with Changli and Brent in mind. And because of that, now when they release other fusion characters, they really need to pay attention, because Lupa might just break them. As is in this case, despite not being her premium option, Lupa is an insane partner for Aemeath. She's actually on par with lynae, and that's because of the freaking phase transition. As I mentioned before, bosses become immune to toon break build-up when they switch phases, which causes downtime for the lynae and the mornye team. Lupa just provides attack, just unfeathered attack. She also provides, I believe, fusion resistance. I don't really remember all the buffs she provides. In any case, her time is comparable and pretty much equal with the lynae mornye combo. What happens if you don't have mornye and you don't have lynae? You miss both of them. Well, then you can just make a full-on regular mono fusion team. You can use Lupa together with Changli or Brent. Brent is gonna provide you with a sustain, but is not that required for this team, because Aemeath, as I mentioned before, she just freezes the enemy for the most part of her combo. So you don't really need that much sustain for her. If you just are able to dodge a little bit here and there, you are not gonna have any issue. I was able to defeat the boss second try. The first one, yes, my Changli died, but on the second try I had no such issue, so it's not like it's that complicated. Changli, in my opinion, is slightly better. I hate her rotation, I'm not gonna lie, but Changli's buffs are superior. She buffs fusion damage and she buffs resonance liberation. Her outro is just perfect for Aemeath. Something that you need to pay attention to is that you need to get 3 stacks in order to trigger Aemeath's buff, and to get those stacks your team needs to either apply shifting or to toon break the enemy, and the Lupa does not apply shifting, so you need to pay attention when you use her to properly break the enemy when he comes on field. You are not gonna be able to break him in the first rotation without messing things up. You are just gonna have to save sometimes the break for her and just apply it in the second at the very least. Obviously this team is not gonna be at the same level as the previous two, as the lynae mornye and the lupa mornye combo. However, it is still pretty strong. If you don't have mornye, you don't have lynae, and you don't have lupa, I mean, bro, just give me something to work with. In that situation, I will say use the fusion burst combo. Use 𝗖cie together with changli and Aemeath. Yes, fusion burst at this point is a meme. You do not have two characters that are able to apply fusion burst. You only have Aemeath, so you can't get her full buff. You are gonna lose 30% crit damage, and you are gonna lose 25% final damage to her liberation strike. But at the very end, fusion burst actually deals quite a bit of damage, and this team also feels pretty good to play because 𝗖cie is a healer herself, and Changli, well, Changli fully buffs Aemeath. Again, I'm not a fan of her rotation, but what else could you even use at the same level? With this team though, I was not able to 3-star the 4th floor. Now, to be fair, I only lost by like 14 seconds, and if I had my Aemeath fully built, if I had her at 100% efficiency instead of 87%, then and if I managed to just pay more attention to my rotation to not get caught by the enemy or hit around, yeah, thank you Kuro for how easy they are sneezing me out of the arena, but yeah, in that situation I could see myself being able to 3-star it. Changli is just a replacement on the team until the new character releases and you are able to pull it. And finally, if I don't have Lupa, if I don't have lynae, if I don't have mornye, if I don't have 𝗖cie, I mean, bro, at this point just press FF for fate. There is no way. Aemeath's signature and her F2P option both have crit rate substat, and she has a ton of crit rate overall thanks to her echo set. She gets 20% extra crit rate there. My Aemeath with the first echoes that I managed to slap on her that had double crit already reaches 96% crit rate. If you are dedicated to her build, you can easily reach 100%. And when that happens, the crit rate from Shorekeeper is completely worthless. It's just not a good team. It's just a co-op team that you use if you are an F2P. If you pull for Aemeath and you don't have anything else on hand, I would use it to clear the left and the right towers, the floors on there. But outside of that, this team is not good enough for the middle floor. What team do you guys plan to go for? Please let me know down below. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Good luck with your pulls and bye for now.